All right, well, welcome everybody to Raceface TV. We've got a special show for you tonight. We're going to be going up to Snohomish, Washington, and young 15-year-old Bryce Bezanson, who's a quarter midget driver. Bryce, welcome to our show.
Hi, thank you. I'm really excited to be on here today.
Well, we're glad to have you. Now, Bryce and I, we actually met at the Quarter Midget Nationals in Vegas some time back, and we've been kind of staying in contact, and we kind of built Bryce a new website and everything. So, Bryce, we're just going to try to get the fans the chance to get to know you just a little bit better. So, the first question I want to ask you, what made you decide that you wanted to actually be a race car driver?
Oh, well, I guess I've always loved just wheels and being able to just drive things. And, well, yes, I just always loved going fast. I just ever since I was born, I've just loved doing it.
Now, I know I've seen a lot of pictures of you at a younger age when you're on a John Deere tractor or a riding lawnmower. Is that where you kind of got started?
Yeah, my grandpa, he'd come to our house a lot, and one time he brought a lawnmower for me, and I drove it around everywhere, and I just had a lot of fun on it. We still have it today. It just brings back memories. It's really good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I could see you out there now with all the experience that you have going, all right, Dad, we need to soup this mower up a little bit so I can cut the yard in about a fourth of the time. So you've been running a lot of quarter midgets. So give us a little rundown on your quarter midget career, some of the highlights, some big races that you've been a part of.
All right. Well, my first year, my brother told me about this thing, and I got really excited. So, it was quarter midgets. So we got started in that, and right after that, we found a car, we bought it, and that was my first year. I won the novice challenge, which was really big, and that was really good. And then I ended up getting senior rookie of the year. My second and third year were mostly probably my learning years, where I learned a lot. I raced with some really good people, and I had two cars, so it was also a learning for my dad how to really handle two cars. In my fourth year, actually, at the Western Grands, we had 4 cars, and we got them all in the A main, which was really good. It's actually at our home track in Monroe, Washington. And we just had a lot of fun in our fourth year, and we won a lot, and we also learned a lot, and yeah.
Okay, so what classes were you actually running in?
In my first year, it was senior novice and senior Honda. And my second year, it was senior Honda and light 160. My third year was heavy 160 and light world formula. And my fourth year was heavy 160, heavy animal, and heavy world formula, and heavy Honda for the Grands.
Yeah, because you're not like a lot of drivers. You're pretty good size, and I've been following a little bit, and you actually do play a little basketball. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. So let's just talk about what is your most memorable race. Of all the races that you've been to, and again, I know that you did an amazing job when you were in Vegas, but what is the most memorable race and maybe your best performance in your mind?
Probably at actually a club race where me and this really other good experienced driver, there was 1 lap left, and I was super tight, but I tried to go past him, and I started to flip, and then my roll bars hit his, and it tipped me back on 4 wheels, and I barely won that race by a couple inches.
Well, that's pretty cool. So I know that every racer, especially at the young age that you guys are at right now, you got to make a lot of sacrifices. You got to give up a lot of different things, because I know the traveling is big, and constantly working on the cars and stuff like that. So talk to us a little bit about some of the sacrifices that you've given up, and in that, was it really worth it? Is it worth it for where you want to be over the next few years?
Oh yeah, I've had to make lots of sacrifices, which is most of it is basketball. For some of my races, I miss my basketball games, especially the Winter Nationals. I missed 3 big basketball games. And I miss some, my friends sometimes have parties, and I miss those, but they're 100% worth it.
So what do all your friends think about you becoming a race car driver and possibly moving up the ladder here? And, I know your goal is to become a professional driver. What does all your friends and people around you think about that?
My friends think it's really cool. They're really excited for me.
I know that your parents are a big part of your racing career. Would you classify them as your #1 supporters?
Yeah, I classify one more person as my #1 supporter. It's my Uncle Eddie. He lives in Missoula, Montana, and he still manages to get up to some of my races. And he also went to Vegas a lot. He's gone to Vegas. He went to Vegas this year, and he used to race too, and he really knows what he's doing. It's just really good to have him down at the track. Also, just all my other family, they play a big role in it too.
All right, well that's pretty cool, and because it takes a lot of commitment to be able to do what you guys do. I know being out at that race in Vegas, I was just astonished, if you would, by how involved the parents were in the whole process of those 5 days out there. I saw your mom and dad basically non-stop the whole time, and it was actually very impressive. So, who are some of your racing heroes? Who are some of your favorite drivers, and in what classes do they run in?
You mean like in NASCAR?
Well, NASCAR or any form of racing.
I used to really like Jeff Gordon when he raced. When I was about 8 years old, I'd always go and watch him every Sunday, and I just really enjoyed watching him race, and how aggressive he was, and how smart he was too. I just really enjoyed seeing him race.
That's a good role model, but who do you like in today's world?
Today's world, I probably like Tony Stewart. I also enjoy watching him. I just like love his background and how he used to race dirt cars. I think it's cool.
Yeah, now he's back in the dirt cars almost, I forgot how many races he's going to be running this year, but he's going to be running a bunch of them. So what are your plans for 2018?
Plans for 2018 are to get in a 600 in a Legend, and to learn a lot, and hopefully get me ready for the upcoming cars.
So let's talk a little bit about the Legend cars. Been working with your mom and dad a little bit. It doesn't seem that Legend car racing is that big up in your area, but I agree. I think Legend cars is a great way to be able to get experience, because we start talking about your racing goals. And your racing goals would be to kind of fill in that gap in 2018 so that you could possibly get into some late model racing, maybe late 2018, early 2019. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you had a crystal ball sitting in front of you right now and you could write your own story, you could say, okay, if I could just had a pen and I could write down exactly where I want to be, the steps that I want to take, what does that plan look like?
Well, I'd hopefully see that as me in 5 years. I'd see me being very successful, and I know what I'm doing, and I've learned a lot, and I've hopefully reached some level of NASCAR, maybe the K&N series or something. That's my hope.
Well, that's a realistic goal. I think that's a very realistic goal. It's going to take a lot of work. I think you already know that. So if the NASCAR K&N series is your goal, then what do you look for from that point on? Let's just say that by 2019 or 2020 you got into a NASCAR K&N series. Is a professional racing career something that you would like to pursue if the opportunities present themselves?
Yeah, if it's an opportunity, I'd love the race for my career. That would be awesome for me.
Right. Well, I think you're on the right path. It's going to take a lot of work. We've already been down that path that you got to market, you got to brand yourself. That's one of the reasons that we had you on the show today, is to kind of get the racing community the opportunity to know who Bryce is. So is there anything else that you'd want to share? What do you like to do? We know you like to play basketball, but what do you like to do when you're not sitting in that race car?
I guess I love golf. I love to play golf a lot, and I've just always played it since I was little, too, with my uncle. And I've just really enjoyed it. And actually, my golf season is actually coming up in like a couple weeks here, so I'm really excited for that.
Well, that's awesome. That's something I didn't know about you. But let me tell you what, there's a lot of deals put together on the golf course.
Oh yeah.
So now you have to go out. So let me ask you a question. Let's just hypothetically, let's say it's 2 years down the road and you've got a sponsor that you're trying to get, and that sponsor says, hey, Bryce, let's go out and play a round of golf. Are you going to beat them or are you going to let them win?
Man, I guess I better let them win.
Oh, okay.
Or I don't know, maybe I'll beat them.
There you go. Maybe just beat them by a little bit to show them how competitive you are. So, well, that's about it for today's interview. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with anything? You got any sponsors you'd like to do a call out to?
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
All right. Well, again, Bryce, thanks for being with us. We want to encourage everybody to go and check out Bryce's Facebook page and then go and check out his website. And we're going to be keeping you guys up to speed on what's going on in his 2018 plan. So, Bryce, thanks a lot for being with us, and we'll see you back here on the show a little bit later in the year. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in to Raceface TV. We'll be back to you tomorrow with some more Raceface driver updates. Everybody go out, have a great evening, and we'll see you back at Raceface TV very soon. Thanks for tuning in. If you're a fan of the show, make sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, then click on subscribe. Want to catch up on some episodes that you might have missed? Then tap on demand. That's it for this week, and as always, go out and support racing at your local track.